Okay guys, big huge finished house, no more woodpecker holes. We're gonna have some touch-ups when the deck comes in, obviously. There always is, so I'll just put on the invoice that we'll have 1 day of touch-ups. That, and there's some water dripping in a couple areas from the snowpack that was on the roof, so there'll just be a complete round of touch-ups when we are done with the deck. And I'm not sure John's timeline, but I believe it's going to be soon. We already have the material for the deck. We already purchased that, so that's the good thing with that. So woodpecker holes are gone. Came out really nice. I'm going to try to get the best view of this place as I walk around it as possible. These are all of our new footing holes, which made life really fun to paint and use ladders around. So yeah, so I think we're waiting on one piece of trim that John's going to put in there. But everything's painted. That door looks funny, shiny, because it was just painted another coat. Everything's been caulked in. So, yeah, it came out really nice. All this like lighter areas have all been redone, just because we wanted to make sure to, you know, there's a lot of water dripping, and we didn't want to wait. Look at that. So what we have left to do is this front is done. Everything's done that we said we were going to do on the bid, sans the deck. But my issue was, if you look, like, that came out just absolutely gorgeous. Man, that's nice. This, not so much. We attacked this with bleach, with our stripper compound. We sanded. This is just too deep into the wood, unfortunately. Now, granted, two things. The camera often makes this look worse than it is. And two, that sometimes when the stain is wet, which this is, it tends to make it darker. So as the stain dries over the next 2 or 3 days, it should lighten up. But we did everything we could. We definitely went above and beyond, not even with just the material, but with hours, just to try to get it. We're not charging you for it, but we tried everything we could, and it's not happening. So my theory on this was that we actually take just this wall, not this one, that's beautiful. The snow load, we got out of that pretty good, but we take this wall and we paint this the cargo. It's just the snow rested too long on that wood. I mean, it's just done. We tried everything, it's not going to happen. So if we take that up there, if we take the cargo color and just paint this, what we would do is we would leave the eaves underneath the stain, because they look really, really nice. Unless, of course, you wanted us to match the underneath the patio like we did underneath the patio. And then we would leave the trim of the window, the door, and the trim of this door, we would leave the stain color so that it kind of pops. You have like a popping effect. We would have to prime this with an oil-based primer to make sure that it sticks, but it would probably leave you a far better, you know, it'd have more curb appeal, because unfortunately, if this was anywhere else in the house, it wouldn't be a big deal. When you pull up and you see that, you're like, oh, that's gorgeous. And then when you see this, you think, oh, water damage. You know, water damage. Now, since we are, or you, I shouldn't say we, are selling this property, that's what I would suggest. I would suggest that we paint those two the same, and just do that and not look back. And we can maybe even fit it in next week if you guys decide. If this does not bother you, and it is sealed from the elements, there's enough stain on there to for a long period of time. We didn't paint these posts because John's probably going to be replacing them. As soon as he is done, obviously this will be painted. Up underneath, everything was done. So that looks really good too. But yeah, door, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Water's turned off. Key is back where it needs to be. And we went ahead and primed and did all this under here as well, because it wasn't done prior to us. So that was just a little extra, not a big deal. Looks really nice though. So we are done. I'm gonna go ahead and send you an invoice, and then what you guys can do is, like I said, there will be some touch-ups on the invoice so that we can come back in and hit anything. But what we can do is discuss this staying area. Let me know what you think, and yeah, and as soon as the deck's done, like I said, we won't charge you the full invoice. We'll leave the deck, but the materials have been purchased. It'll take me 1 day to do the deck. I charge about $400 a day. So I've got 1 day and the materials are already paid for. So I'll invoice you accordingly and we'll go from there. But man, different house, absolutely gorgeous. So hopefully this finds you guys well, and we will talk soon. Thank you.